Warning! This video contains spoilers of Donkey Kong Bonanza. This includes the ending of the game. If you haven't finished Donkey Kong Bonanza, leave right now. Thank you. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So yes, I have finally completed Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, the time of this recording, yes, there will be spoilers. I'll put it at the beginning of the video so you guys can be aware. And the music, well, I can't get the music to work on this right now, so you're just gonna hear some old Donkey Kong music in the meantime, and I guess I'd rather not show spoilers again, so yeah, but I'm gonna still talk about spoilers a lot because, oh my god, guys. If you've been following me on other social media sites, which I have linked in the description, fun fact, I guess you can't use the link apparently because I gotta figure that out, so that's neat. I'll figure that out later, maybe. I don't know if they'll let me, but we'll see. But, yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza, oh my god, guys, this was a magical experience from a Donkey Kong fan. Like, this is Donkey Kong I played? Like, dude! Oh my god, this was the Donkey Kong game I've waited for a while now. Now, my experience with Donkey Kong growing up, I've talked about it several times. The Donkey Kong Returns was my first Donkey Kong game I ever played. I didn't really get far into it because, well, minus using Super Guides, because the game was brutal as hell. But, I did play Tropical Freeze, of course, which was amazing. And then I played the old Rareware games to see the hype for them, and oh my god, I understood the appeal. And that's why I love the Donkey Kong franchise. I played Jungle Beat, I played 64, and then I played, like, I guess the other spin-off DK games, because I guess I gotta be the DK fan to play every Donkey Kong game. So, yeah. But, yeah. But, yeah. And I've just been like, it's been an agony, and it's been a miserable, ever since Tropical Freeze released, it was been a miserable 11 years of re-releases. Albeit Tropical Freeze was at least fair, but Mario vs. DK was a GBA remake no one asked for, and Donkey Kong Returns HD, while I understand why it happened because of the theme park at the timing, it was pretty subpar ports, I should say. So, yeah, we were just getting mostly re-releases, Donkey Kong appearing in the next Mario multiplayer game, and yeah, that was really it at the time. Minus some stuff that's been happening. Donkey Kong in the Mario movie, merchandise, of course I talked about the theme park, and possibly, at the time of recording, a Donkey Kong movie. So we were all speculating, like, okay, he's gotta get a new game at some point, right? And then we were all like, he's gonna get anything but a new game. But nope! On April 2nd, 2025, Nintendo revealed a new Donkey Kong game. And my reaction alone, I think y'all already know my reaction. I had the loudest screams. I went apeshit. Like, I've just been rewatching my reaction. I'm like, dude, why did they scream like that? It was so understandable. Like, everyone was adding me, like, are you okay, dude? I just had to bring that up, honestly. So, yeah, it's just the story. Then, of course, we were waiting for the game to get, you know, scene footage from Treehouse footage, and then we got the Donkey Kong Direct. I was like, oh my god, this game. I was already excited for this game, but man, this game was gonna blow me away as, like, probably one of the best games, honestly, ever. And Nintendo did disappoint me. But yeah, let's talk about the game itself, shall we? So, here we go. So yeah, we talk about the story about, well, I think we all know what's going on. Donkey Kong wants bananas, of course, but also, he wants to explore underground and stuff. And then, Donkey Kong meets a partner named Oddrock. Spoilers, it's Pauline. A little Pauline. We'll talk about all that stuff later on. And basically, they had this little cute duo they got. Donkey Kong and Pauline, this little Pauline. Sort of like Wreck-It Ralph and Monsters, Inc. being comparisons. So, hey, that's pretty cool. I actually love that kind of duo. The big buffed man with the little girl. I love that kind of duo, honestly. So, yeah. But yeah, Pauline wants to get to the surface by going to the planet's core to grant wishes. But of course, we have the Voidco group, trying to race to the Master Core. So, yeah. And it's up to Donkey Kong and Pauline to get to the Master Core before them. Oh, alright, so we might as well talk about the gameplay. So the gameplay, well, have fun smashing anything you want. And I should mention this game was developed by the Odyssey devs, if it ain't obvious, by the way. I felt like it was a given from the trailers. I mean, some people did predict maybe it's a separate team because they might work on the next 3D Mario game. I wouldn't worry too much about that, though, but yeah. We're not here for 3D Mario, though. We're here for 3D Donkey Kong. But yeah, game looks fabulous. And, like, the presentation alone, like, oh my god. I understand why this was saved for the Switch 2. Like, the interviews did say this was originally going to be on the Switch 1, but they did move it to the Switch 2, and oh my god, seeing the comparisons, it's basically night and day. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm glad this was saved for the Switch 2, honestly. Early on the Switch 2, basically, so, yeah. But yeah, I was really fearing the gameplay, by the way, being mostly just smashing things. Like, the idea sounds fun, I just hoped I had fun with it. And, surprisingly enough, I actually did. Smashing everything just felt very satisfying, and just breaking anything, destroying anything you want. I actually had way more fun with this gimmick than I thought I would, honestly. And, yeah, it was just amazing, honestly. And that goes double for the transformations, the Kong Bonanza transformations. There are 5 transformations in Donkey Kong Bonanza you get. You get Kong Bonanza, which is the one that we've known for a while, which has you punching stuff harder, like the silver terrain that DK can't punch on his own, basically. And then we have the Zebra, makes you run on platforms that disappear quickly. Ostrich Bonanza makes you fly wherever you want to go. Also, DK and Ostrich, that's so funny. We got a Donkey Kong as an elephant. Wow, I guess no wonder they didn't put him in Mario Wonder. This is so funny. The elephant sucks up stuff you can use to throw chunks, by the way, and also like just get rid of like stuff that Donkey can't walk on because he'll get hurt. And yeah, it just helps a lot, honestly. So yeah, that's probably it's either that or the Zebra are my favorite ones. And the last one being the Snake, which I guess this is a nod to Rattly the Snake in terms of ability, because Donkey Kong bounces really high into the sky if you hold it. This might be my least favorite of the transformations, to be honest. I think it was just more of the pacing for me for that one, but it's not bad one, honestly. And like, I do think bounce is fun, and I guess if they weren't going to bring back animal buddies from the country games, this was probably the best way you could do it, in my opinion, so I don't have a problem with this. I will say, I will give off some criticisms, not much, thankfully, but the Kong Bonanzas, I have seen people say maybe it does make the game a little too easy, and yeah, I guess that's kind of true, but I did try not to use Ostrich Bonanza much to, like, fly through, like, certain locations. I just wanted to explore, honestly, with just DK itself. And yeah, just make sure I just make sure to not use Ostrich much unless I needed to, basically. That's kind of the thing with Kong transformations. I just used them when I needed to. So yeah, I didn't have a problem with that personally, but I can see why. It's just, yeah, it is definitely a glorified easy mode, honestly. And I guess we can also talk about that with the boss fights. Now, I have seen people say with the boss fights, they are easy. Yeah, once you figure out what you're doing, I will admit I did struggle with some. I'd say the later ones took me a bit of thinking of what I needed to do. They're not, like, not take me that many tries. They're like, oh, okay, I get it now. And I know I'm comparing Odyssey, not to dunk on Mario Odyssey much. I love Odyssey. I will say, these are definitely way more interesting boss fights than Mario Odyssey, in my opinion. Well, in at least the new ones. I think Odyssey did have some cool new fights. The dragon fight was cool. The big in Ruined Kingdom, I forgot the name, but yeah, that dragon fight was really cool. I will give that props. But the Brutals are very lame. I don't care for the Brutals, honestly. They're all lame, and the boss fights are not that interesting. But Void Code Group, specifically Grumpy Kong and Poppy Kong, and the obvious main one, Void Kong, they were all interesting characters to me. Like, they all had the charm. They had boss fights and, like, different dialogues you read. And, spoiler, I know, I already said spoilers in the beginning, whatever. Poppy Kong and Grumpy Kong might not be against you, basically. Like, there was just always this thing of, like, Void Kong basically being the main evil one. Like, he just felt like this asshole, basically, and to the other, like, specifically Poppycon wasn't even impressed with Voicon in one of the cutscenes, basically, when we first meet them. So, yeah. Speaking of that, this game has voice acting, I should mention. More so with, like, Pauline and... I feel like there was someone else, but I think it was mostly Pauline. Any, like, animals basically had their little sound effects, which I guess make it more fair, in my opinion. So... I don't really mind the voice acting for Pauline. I guess I should mention was the Pauline talking annoying? I've heard some people say it might get annoying for Pauline to, like, speak whenever you do literally anything. And I think the part where she does mention, oh, a banana, is unnecessary. I didn't find it ruining the game, in my opinion, honestly. And I wasn't going to be a coward and turn off her voices. I heard it doesn't turn off completely, though, so I don't think it would have mattered regardless, so... But I can see why someone would be a fan of this. If you're not really a big fan of Pauline, I guess you could say. But I have no problem with this, in my opinion, so, yeah. Alright, so... Oh boy, I better talk about the locations, honestly, and oh my god. Well, yes, we do have a usual... beach. Some Mario, I guess you can argue like the locations are about what you expect from a video game. We have a beach area, a snow area. You have some interesting ones like the lagoon layer. That lagoon layer music, oh my god, that song is amazing. And I can't say with the soundtrack. Yes, the soundtrack is amazing. It's probably not my favorite in the Donkey Kong series. I probably am more biased with some of the older ones, but man, I can't argue that this is some of the best work, honestly, in my opinion. I love the soundtrack, especially Lagoon Layer. I love the locations, honestly, despite being typical themes, it works really well for DK, in my opinion. So, yeah. The snow, especially, I just love the vibe. So, with, like, ice cream involved, and then the zebras, Marty, by the way. But, yeah, I just love the locations, honestly, and they just felt so unique and stuff, and, it's just so good. The Bananza music, like, oh god, those were just amazing, honestly, so, yeah. I didn't even talk, I guess I could talk about, like, you know, talk about the gameplay, the way it looks, the bonus locations. There were some throwback levels that Nintendo did show, and I have heard, while I'm kind of just chugging through with trying to 100% the game, I'm guessing there's probably not a lot of these, I guess, which is kind of unfortunate, honestly, but... I mean, it's just more of a nitpick, if anything. I kind of wish there was more of those, but it's not a big deal, honestly. We got Bramble Scramble. That's more than enough for me, honestly. Sticker Brush Symphony in the big 2025. Oh my god, that just warms my heart, honestly. So yeah, and I'm seriously though, this game made me emotional, made me have goosebumps. I feel like I would not feel like this in a Donkey Kong game. Like, story per se. I think that's more so with the dialogue of the NPCs and Pauline and stuff. Like, once you start to understand, and yeah, I can kind of understand, like, once you really look deep into, especially with Grumpy Kong and Poppy Kong specifically. Like, I would not care for story in a funny monkey game, but I guess I did. So, yeah, it's not the most interesting story out there. I mean, it's not like what, I don't know, Persona, what you, like, this is a funny monkey game. I can't make comparisons like that, so, yeah. I don't know if that was the best comparison, but I'm assuming, so, yeah. I guess I should mention with the whole breaking stuff, I did hear some people say it got annoying with, like, the camera angles. I surprisingly didn't run too many issues. Like, I did get lost, but I surprisingly found myself where I was a few times. But I can understand why this might give some people a headache, honestly, so it might not be the gameplay for everyone. And I didn't even mention the collecting, the oh banana! I cannot believe they were so base for bringing that back. Now, I guess I should make this talk, considering this is the Odyssey devs, about a certain criticism with Mario Odyssey having too many moons to collect. I can kind of understand this argument. I 100% Mario Odyssey once, and I never did it again. I replayed Odyssey a few times. I still love Odyssey, don't get me wrong, but I totally understand why some people wouldn't want to 100% the game every time, and it's just, the moons were also in like, oh, there's a moon right there, you just walk around, hope you get lucky, but Bananza, in my opinion, makes that better. Like, when I find a, like, it tells you sometimes, like, using the hand slap specifically to find golden bananas and fossils that you get for wanting to dress up DK, unless you want to be basic and just keep his red tie on, I guess. But yeah, finding golden bananas felt way more satisfying than finding a moon. Maybe it's because of the sound effect and bias, but I just felt like, okay, when I found a golden banana, it felt rewarding, honestly. And just looking around, digging through, using the hand slap, that helps you find collectibles, especially treasure chests and stuff like that. Having fossils of, like, older Donkey Kong enemies, and even the animal buddies from the old games. So, it's nice to see the animal buddies get referenced, so that's pretty cool. Justice for Squitter, though. I will say that, yes. Oh my god, I said a lot with this game, and I feel like I haven't really gone to the deep spoilers quite yet. I guess I technically have, but yeah. But yes, as you can tell with my praising of the game, yeah, I guess my only other nitpick, why doesn't DK swim underwater sometimes? Like, you don't swim underwater in the slightest. That's like a Donkey Kong staple, but it's not a big deal. It doesn't. I know some people don't like water levels, but I think Donkey Kong's an exception, and maybe Rayman and Crash Bandicoot, so yeah. But I love the enemies, honestly, the Crocoids, and I love the other NPC characters. A lot of them really feel like Rareware vibes. Like, some people say this game feels like a Banjo-Kazooie game, and honestly, I wouldn't even disagree with that. So yeah. And oh my god. Alright, I've talked a lot with, like, the main points of the game. I think I've talked about a lot of things. And also, Donkey Kong's moveset in general just feels amazing. Like, Donkey Kong has a lot of movement. Surfing on terrain, climbing, of course, without a stamina, basically. Throwing chunks, of course, and just swinging them so you can break through. DK has a big moveset, and also he can spin, like in Smashy Bros. Like, oh my god, DK has a huge moveset, basically, and I just love it. That's proof with the skill point. The skill system. I did not think they would add something like this in a Donkey Kong game, but I appreciate that, honestly. So yeah. But yeah, oh my god. Of course, there's items you can collect. You collect gold. I have seen people say collecting gold does feel like something Wario would do, and I will admit, I don't know why DK collects gold on, like, regular bananas, but that's not a problem. I like gold, and Wario's not the only character to collect treasure chests either, so, I mean, you find that in any platformer, basically. It's not only Wario. By the way, make a 3D Wario game with this style. That would be peak, but who knows if that will ever happen. I do think the Aussie team should try with, like, Wario or Yoshi for this. I know Mario's, like, the big focus, but, you know, that could be neat if they were, like, more. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, we heard something. Alright, let's get to the ending of the game, shall we? So we get to the Master Core after saving Polly from jail, I guess, or getting eaten by an eel. I love the eel transformation, by the way. That's peak. And then we get to the end of the game. Void Kong is basically done with Poppy and Grumpy. I'll make this ending pretty quick, by the way. When Void Kong is about to get the Master Core, after we defeat him, obviously, Polly sings her song about her special power and stuff. And then, right before Void Kong's about to get the Master Core, some familiar foe appears. That's right, everybody. King K. Rool is in Donkey Kong Bonanza. I unfortunately got hit with the spoilers on this one, but I didn't see the whole scene, and I'm glad I didn't, because oh my god, guys. King K. Rool's model is so good. I love the voice. I know we all praise the cartoon look, but I can't deny it. I just love K. Rool here. We even see HD versions of the Zinger, the Kremlings, the Neckies. Oh my god, guys. Like, the actual forms. Like, oh my god. I was just in goosebumps. And then King K. Rool has his own Bananza transformation twice. Like, you have the first phase, and then you have the fake credits. You hear the game playing Galleon remix. Dude, that was when King K. Rool was locking in. Like, oh my god. And then we transport into New Donk City, I guess. And now we gotta stop King K. Rool from taking over that city. He has an ultimate form, which, oh my god. Dude, that final boss was epic. I was a little simple, although I did struggle with a few times due to a stupid move I could have done to finish it earlier, but it's not a big deal, honestly. I really, really love that final boss, and I'm glad King K. Rool is back, hopefully staying in the spotlight this time. I would love to see him in, like, Mario spin-offs and, like, hopefully the Donkey Kong movie. Make him be the next Pauline Rosalina, basically, of, like, showing up often, so... yeah, who knows if that's gonna happen, but I don't think this will be the end of King K. Rool, I just know it. And yeah, we have this scene of DK waving to Pauline, saying goodbye. We did see some pics of Pauline. Now, I haven't really done again, I'm still mostly 100% in the game. I know there's a lot of talk of this small Pauline. Nintendo, I will say this, Nintendo didn't say jack shit with the whole, why is Pauline a child, basically. And I'm not going to get into that conversation. Good luck, content creators who talk about Mario and DK lore. So yeah, but despite all that, I gotta say, this is easily my favorite video game of all time. Like, actually, I still might have a soft spot for DKC 2, but Bananza just blew me away. And I honestly think this is my favorite video game of all time. And I mean, it could be relevancy biased, but I don't think that's the case. Like, this game is almost everything I've wanted in a Donkey Kong game. The references alone, and also Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong are there. I still have questions about Diddy Kong here, but hey, they look good. So yeah. So yeah, a new 3D Donkey Kong game. What am I going to talk about next now? Well, I got some ranking videos I want to do for this game. Ranking the areas, maybe boss fights, and with the future, why not? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you played Donkey Kong Bonanza, what do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. I am so glad to finally have a new Donkey Kong game that's done right. This feels like this is what the fans been needed, honestly. They deserve it, honestly. And I'm glad, to those who've been following me for the coping, I'm glad you stuck around. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time for whatever comes your way. Later.